It's probably gonna open up over it. No, it didn't open. Cool. All right. Gameplay. So I have a working system. Actually, let me see the sound here yet. I have no clue if sound's here yet. I do have some sound. Okay, cool. So I do have some sound. I got some particle effect sounds. I I didn't have the volume turned up from my hearing aids, or not hearing aids. Fuck. Headphones. Right? But they're not headphones. They're, you know, we're not gonna worry about it. Let's see if he actually played the roar of. No, okay, the roar didn't happen. When that roar happens, he's supposed to make some sounds, just come in and stuff. So my health, you'll see my health on the top left. It says that I got lighting. Oh, hello, that troll went flying. There's a box collision around this troll. Oh, there you go here. There's two attack types for the enemies. I've been working on a second attack type for the troll and the grunt. That vomit is what his second attack type is like. There it is. He's playing it. It's a vomit animation. That's going to be his ranged attack. That's his attack melee animation, and he hits hard. He takes about half the health of the player whenever he hits. And then this will be a good way to show my health pickup here, which I gained some life there, and my life is slowly regenning as well. So there's that, and then I lowered the health with this dude so that I could kill him faster, so I can see if it works. There's his death animation. He tried to stand back up, but he disappears. I put a destroy actor right after you kill him. That way, after his death animation plays, there's like a delay there for the play length animation for it, and then it destroys the actor. That's why he disappeared. I'm not sure how to fix him trying to stand back up and trying to move again and stuff, but this is why I put a destroy actor on it. This dude's going to take 4 hits. Usually the troll would take about 6 hits from what I was initially going for, but I lowered the time so that he has his own death animation. He's still following, but he also disappears as well. I put a stop movement component there and then stop movement immediately component, those two at the end of it, but it's not stopping his movement for some reason. I'm not too sure why. I gotta try to mess with it more for it. But as you see, my health is now gone, and I have not died, and my movement has not stopped. So this is one of the problems. This is one of the things I gotta come in and I gotta fix. I gotta work on. And then some of these trees, I guess I just throw it out there. Some of these trees don't have collision, and some of these trees do have collision. So I learned that the foliage painter in Unreal, when you try to paint your landscape, that's what I used for the grass and stuff. It works well with that, but when you try to do it through trees, the foliage painter does not add collision to it. And I have already painted all these trees with foliage painter, and to find out there's no collision. So now I've been deleting and dragging out the actual static mesh onto the field. So this one has collision. I can tell this one that's slanted right here, this one won't have collision because I haven't messed with anything that's slanting yet to try to bring it in for when you drag out a static mesh of its own, it would come out upright and it won't slant. The foliage painter tried to go with the landscape, but it made it tilt, which is why I know that these ones don't have collision for sure. This one didn't have collision. This one's probably not going to have collision. No. But as I really try to make sure to, at least for the most part right now, change the collision around the houses for a fact, because when I first played it, I didn't know that there was no collision. And that's because subconsciously I avoided the trees. Like I avoided the tree, like subconsciously. So like if the player starts at the player start house over there and the trees got collision, they're automatically going to think, hey, I can't run through the trees. So they're going to automatically avoid the trees subconsciously at first, unless they decide to go out and test it and start hitting every single tree that they run across. Then there's a slight problem because then they're gonna find it. But I'm betting on that won't happen until after they played like a while. You know how a video game goes, and then you get bored of a game, and then you start messing around doing little things. That's when they'll find out for that. I have another character which I'll show y'all now. It's the let me get the window up for world settings. So that was my knight character that I've been working with for the most part on everything, and then here is my my magic character. So now when I press play for this, I will spawn in with my magic character, which I needed to add in. I need to add in more sounds like footsteps, foliage, footstep stuff, and I need to get the sounds to work for the troll now. But when I press 2, she launches a fireball, and she has a healing ability, which is pretty dope. The fireball is there, and then I have a timer on a delay timer type thing for when you use an ability. You have to wait until the timer runs out on the ability in order to use it. The magic spells do cost your mana. You'll see the mana going down up there and stuff. So this is her. These characters came when I was watching Virtus tutorial. He had the files for them, but he got them from Mixamo, and so that's where you would go. That's where these characters pretty much came from. The knight and the magic character came from Mixamo. The troll and the grunt came from the marketplace on Epic Game Store. They were free. I think they came with the adversaries, Paragon adversaries pack, and then these trees are an environment pack. And then here I can come in and I'll show you the cutscene that I've been working on, that we've been working on in class. So let me go cinematic, master, sequencer. Let me throw the sequencer to the right of my content browser. I'm going to come right here to this. Let's go to layouts, 2 panes, and then turn off this for the cinematic control. Show this one there, and then we'll hit the shot track here to follow, and then I can come in and press play. Whoop, I say that, but I can come in now and press play, and you'll see it right here on my right side. It's struggling on playing that, but I have a bird as well. This is going to be car or whatever, and it's going to come in. It's showing the POV of the bird, and it's switching around, showing the enemy. Oh, that is rough. That is a rough cinematic. These are rough. My computer's struggling, but it's going in, going around, and then you spawn back, shows your player where he's going to be at, and then bam, it would load the game there, and you'll start playing at the doorway. Because this cutscene is going to trigger by blueprint. So when you spawn in the house like we normally do, you're going to walk outside. There's going to be a box trigger or a trigger that loads the cutscene, and it's going to play the cutscene all the way around. And then during that blueprint, that hits the trigger blueprint that causes the cutscene to play. And at the end of cutscene, you're going to load back into your character, and your character is going to be standing right there at the door where the cutscene just ended. So and then you're there, you're playing the game from there. So that's the idea of this cutscene as of right now that we're working on in Game Art 2. Yeah, so let me go ahead and go back to layouts. Let's go back to one here, and then get rid of sequencer there. And then so far this is the game. I can now show y'all. I can probably show y'all a little bit about the blueprint side of things too. So here I got my third person BP right here. I got my this is my blueprints folder where I have everything. Here's my AI enemy. So my enemies are all running off of a blueprint. They're running off. Hold on, let me say this. There's a base blueprint, right, which is BP enemy base, and this is setting up. This allows me to set up for multiple enemies, but they're all going to function about the same, or they're going to have about the same things where they roam, they chase you, they attack you when they get into a certain radius of you. They go back to roaming after you get so far, or when they can't chase you anymore, so they'll go back to roaming again. And those are all like general things that every enemy will do in my game. So therefore, you would make an enemy base for that says to do all that. And then when you want to specify individual things for your enemies, you would make a child blueprint of your base and then go in. So this is the enemy base right now, right? So then when I come back over here, I have troll and grunt right here. This one was a past one. It didn't work out. So it's not let's say that one's a past one that was made before I made the enemy base. So it doesn't have any of the enemy base right here that I'm showing. which I had to make a new grunt, which is right here, and have its blueprint right here. So now I'm setting here, so begin play is getting its parent, which is the enemy base, right? And event tick is getting everything that was from the parent. And here I'm setting its individuality, right? So this box collision here and box collision here, those are the box collisions around his axis that is going to be doing damage to me. When I show back to the event graph, this is the damage that's being done. When I on begin overlap, when that box collision on the axe of the weapon hits me, when it overlaps with my player, sword character or magic character, it's going to take away about 0.125 of my health, and it's setting my new health to after it has taken away 0.125. So that's the box collision I'm setting up for health. This is an individual thing because my troll, he's doing for 0.5 damage, but my grunt is doing a different damage. So this is why it's not done in the base. This is why it's done in the child blueprint, because that's two differences there from them, but they're all generally running off of the same thing, which is my enemy base. And then you come to the child to set the individual things that you wanted to. This was me figuring out a way to start a second attack for them to play a second attack, like picking between. This did not work out. This was me trying to learn it, but I had a great teacher who showed me the way he would go about doing it, and showed me how he did it. So I went in and kind of did what he did. So, which was pretty dope when I got back to college. Because like I said, this project started in Christmas break. I followed a tutorial for that period of time trying to learn, and then I came back to school after Christmas break, showing my gaming professor. He's showing me how he do things and what we talk about it and everything else, and I'm learning some more. And so these are the things I'm adding on after talking to him, and this is why things are getting kind of difficult with merging from what I've done Christmas break and merging what I'm doing in college and trying to make things better. And now I'm realizing I need a better foundation than what I had before, which is why I'm thinking of why I would start a new project now, but with a better foundation, a better starting point than what I have done. So here's where I'm doing damage. My character's doing damage to them, which is right here. This is my magic character, the magic projectile, which is the fireball. It does about 0.25 damage here, and if it's greater than or equal to 0, then you're going to destroy the actor. I have, here we go, multi-play montage. This is where I was working based off my sword character. I haven't, oh, well, wait, stop. What did I click? Okay, no, we're good. I think, yeah, we're good. So I've been working mainly on my sword character first because that's my main character right now. Yeah, the sharks be swimming backwards. Yo, what's up, T-Todd? What's up, man? Glad you can make it, man. So right here, I've been working with my sword character only, so that's why I have this here and not up here yet, because I'm doing the most of the testing with my sword character. So this is the play montage for the death, for when the troll dies, or grunt, because I'm in the grunt, but when the grunt dies, he's playing his death montage right here, which I set it here. The delay is here, and this is where I'm confused, because these are my stop movements and they're not stopping immediately. They're not obeying this for some reason. The montage is playing, but these aren't happening. The delay is happening, and then the destroy actor happens. So let me go back and switch this. Oh, whoa, wrong one. Let me go back and switch this back to my sword character. So watch, there, and I'll press play again, and then we'll come over here, and I will go find a grunt. I think there's a grunt right over here. I've done tested this so many times. There he is. But I'll kill this grunt, and you'll see that his stop movement doesn't actually stop. And this is where I'm confused with, as of right now, where I am right now. So boom, he's dying, but see how he's following me? But his death animation played. His death animation played, which means this string of nodes is being read, right? And it's working, but it's not working here. And I don't know why this is not coming in to do its thing. and I have an idea. I have like a theory as to why it's not working to correctly, and I'm thinking, even though it's individuality, so it still doesn't really make sense. But my idea is here in the enemy base, it's still following along the enemy base first and prioritizing everything that's happening here, and it's ignoring the stop movement because of the enemy bases, what the enemy bases was telling it to chase after me and follow me and all that stuff, which it still doesn't really make sense, because in my head uh, the way that it normally happens is, even though the base is happening, but whatever I tell it to do in the child blueprint that's being pulled out, whatever I'm telling it here should end up taking priority. The enemy base should be a background thing, I believe. I could be wrong about that idea, but so how would I go about fixing this? I would probably have to set up the same thing. Since it was a base, I'd probably have to set up whatever I'm doing down here. This, I have to set it up in the base, but set it up as to a point to where it's neutral, right? So in the base, I have these variables on the left hand side over here, right? And I have variables for the enemy info, and I have variables for the taunt montage, which is that roar that the troll would do when you get close, and I have variables for the death. Well, I was just now making it, but there's a death montage that I was just now making, because this is the idea that I had when I was gonna fix it. Was there's a death montage, but see how I got their normal swings. I got a normal attack montage, and I got their ranged attack montage, which is that vomit the troll does, and that's all set here in the base. And so when I went to my grunt, since that was set in the base, and I click on the self, those are the variables that were made in the base are now in the child blueprint in the details panel, which is on the right side, which I'm setting the death montage, or not death. Like I said, that's what I was trying to fix it. But this is the taunt montage here, and then where's my ranged? I have my ranged taunt, melee here, normal, and ranged. But see how they're in the details panel? They're in the, so that means if I could set it up properly in the base and come to the child and set it here, then I don't need to do this. This can be done in the base, and I think that might fix the following me after death. That's my theory anyway. It's like in theory, but when you know, most of the time in theory doesn't really work out. It's usually there's usually something else that you got to try to do. But as long as you can get an idea, you have something to work off of, work from. But yeah, so this is it. This is my game. Let me go to here. I can probably show you my blueprints. Let's go to my player characters. So I'm recently trying to reorganize my folders so that they're easier to navigatable. But here's my sword character blueprint, my magic character blueprint, which all has, the stem from, I went off of the third person template to start this project. So this is the third person. This is what came with the third person template here. I'm here for the check cooldown. So my ability 1, the healing ability my magic character has, that's ability 1. It has a cooldown to it, which is being set here. It's a float variable. You would name it. So here would be ability cooldown 1. It says float. And now it's like if it's greater than or equal to 1, and that's true. So the branch is used for like a true or false statement in a way, which here it is, true or false. So if this is true, if it is that less than or equal to 1, right? Or is that greater than? Crap, I don't even know my less thans or greater than. Hold on, watch this. Let me do this. That's greater than. I'm dumb. There we go. So that's greater than or equal to 1. And that if that's true, then we're going to come over here. Right, this is another true or false statement because I'm trying to cast one-handed. If one-handed is casting and it's false, then we're going to grab here, and as long as that's false, then we can start setting up to cast. now. So the mana, we're getting my blue bar that's on the top left, and we're going, if this is greater than or equal to 0.15 of the how much mana I have, and if that's true, we're going to minus it. So that means it's going to play, the casting is going to play, and we were able to do our ability, and it's going to minus that 0.15, and it's going to set the new mana to where it's at. And from here we're going to get, you know, our health, because if it's the healing ability, which is cooldown 1, we want the ability to work, and that's healing ourselves. So we're going to add point, so we're going to put the trade-off is the same. So it took you 0.15 mana, and since it took you 0.15, we're going to add 0.15 to your health. So there's an equal trade to that. You come in, and casting it is now true, so you are casting it, and the emitter is the effect that happens when you play it, right? So let me switch this back to my magic character, since I'm talking about it. Let me switch it back. So the emitter, spawn emitter at location. So all that I said just now was all for just this one ability. Boom. So it took 0.15, it added 0.15 to my health. The emitter is spawning, which is the particle, the effect that you see that's just now going away. And yeah, so that's what's happening right there. And this whole string of nodes of this true right here is happening here. And then when you're out of mana, if it's false and you can't do this and you can't spawn the emitter at location, right? And if it's false, it's gonna put a no mana sign, a no mana. You don't have enough mana, basically. So when I come in, we hit play. All right, let me walk out. Let me walk out of here, and then we use this to where we can't use it no more. I got the delay, so it's gonna take a second. I should have thought about that. But basically, in the middle of my screen, there's gonna be a message that pops up, which could be spam, saying no mana available, or I can't remember the exact message. But we're here. See, no mana. Oh wait, here we go. See, now when I click on it, it's gonna tell me no mana available. No mana available. I don't know if y'all see that. But yeah, so that's that. So that's if it's false, right? So true, it's taking 0.15, it's adding 0.15 to the health, it's casting it, it's spawning the emitter. If it's false, no mana pop up, and there's no mana available. And then after the emitter location is spawned, this is that cooldown, right? This is what's the timer that's taking me so long to use it again. So there's a delay of 2 seconds. The casting 1H, the casting, which was set to true, which allowed us to do it, it's going to be set to false, so you can't do it. And then the ability cooldown starts here. It's going to be from 0 seconds, but then the cooldown here is going to be if it's that's a less than 1. And if that's true, we're going to set the ability cooldown here, and then it's going to be 0.05 for this to this. We're going to add it, which is the time that's ticking from the gray bar that's going to go up. This is how long it's taking, and the delay is 0.1. So it's looping. This is going to loop itself over and over again until that gray bar, that time of this, goes away, and then you're set to do this whole function again when you cast over again, and you're coming into this again. You know, casting is set to true because you're in the middle of doing it, and your emitter at location that spawns, and you're coming back into the setting it to false, doing the cooldown. So that all that was just for that, you know, just for that one ability, right? I plan on getting, you know, way out there in the future, putting things way more in the future. I want to get way better. And to do this, I can't really say completely by myself, because I have been able to talk to my professor, and I have, you know, that YouTube tutorial. But in a way, you know, I don't have a fellow student that's with me talking about their project and helping us, you know, figure out, breaking through walls. Because, you know, in the gaming community, or when games are made, there's teams, right? You got a team that helps you with each section that you're at. You got you know, your development team, your lighting team, you got your, you know, your environment building team that would sit there and just do nothing but build environments. And I don't have a team. I'm by myself on it for the most part. You know, I'm doing every little thing there is. And so my future hope is put me on a team. Let me be a part of a team that we all sit down and, you know, work on it together. And we go, and the walls that I'm hitting, like I'm hitting now, certain wall, I have a team to go communicate the walls that I'm hitting with, and not be as stuck. Or at least if I'm stuck, I'm not stuck by myself. You know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping for. Just I want to be a part of a team. I want to be out there. I want to learn. I want to learn. I want to. This is really cool to me, man. When my Game Art 1 class, when I first took gaming class, when I came into South Plains, and I was like, yo, I want to do gaming. Do y'all have gaming? And they had Game Art 1, and I first played it, and we didn't even do nothing yet. You know, the first person template map that's already there for first person, and you hit the play button like I do now. We hit that, and we haven't even done anything yet. But I saw the already default gun that shoots the ball that bounces everywhere. My mind was blown. I was already playing a game. I was already playing a game, and it was blowing my mind. And the fact that Unreal Engine you can download at home and start working on games yourself, that was crazy to me. This is crazy. Like I'm able to learn from home. Now I want to, you know, get a team. I want to be a part of it. I want to be. We'll get there. I'll get there. Oh no, wrong button. Oh, I'm not. Hey, you know, I'm not a PC gamer, so I don't really. Take that. No, turn around. Oh, you launched the fireball the wrong way. See, that's why my magic character kind of sucks, though. There's no lock-on. I haven't made a lock-on system to anything yet, so it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to play the magic character, which is why I've been working mainly with the knight character. Knight character is easy, right? It's hack and slash. I got one sword, I swing, and it's easier for me to work with as of right now. So I've got these message log errors popping up, and that is, I think that's my, hold on. Let me press play and let me exit it real quick. Okay, escape. Now let's see. Water brush. Let's go over to this. Where is that? Escape. Water brush manager. What is? Because I thought I deleted it. It's something that was underneath the map. Do you know the water that I showed? I think since that was like added in. Oh, back there it is. There's water. Can I make myself go faster here? Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I can make myself go faster if I turn up this. Well, here, you know what? I'll do it. Turn up the camera speed. There. There we go. Now we're zooming. Okay, see that red X? Can I just delete? Oh, I wasn't happy with that. File, save all. Some of the animations, so for, let's go to my, you know, we've been looking at the grunt for a minute. Let's go to troll. All right, so there's an anim BP that's used for the animation of my troll that's using. So, and then this is a blend space, which if I click on this blend space and I open it up, hold shift, this is him. Well, usually it's a hold shift. What is it now? Hold control. Oh, they changed that. Okay, so if you see here, this is his idle. This is him walking backwards, and if I move, this is blending in those different animations, right? His idle animation, his walking forward animation. If you have different animations you want, you can use a blend space that helps it helps take care of the transition in between the animations. I've got to walk forward. So my blend space troll is a little weird. I got two walk forward animations here, right there and up here, which I don't know why I got two. I shouldn't have two. And I got his, you know, walk left and walk right here. This is dope, which is dope. The anim BP, it has, so this is that blend space it's doing there, but for locomotion there is a let me go back one more. Actually, which one has a more diverse? Okay, well, hold up. That's, let me not. Troll is probably a bad idea to show off because he doesn't have much right now because he's set up different. Let's go back to let's go back to characters, right? So let's go to my sword character and his Anim BP. So here's his sword and shield idle. This is his idle state. He also has a movement state, which is this is his blend space for walking, just like the troll, you know, up here, just like the troll. He's got his idles. He's got his walk forward and then walk at max speed forward. And then if I go back, I can get rid of this blend space. And if I go to its movement state, which is these are the state machines, his idle and his blend space, and then his sword attack, the attacking, and then his jumping for when I jump up and down. The animation for that is there. Movement state, and then here's the event graph for the blueprint, the animation blueprint that's telling, hey, we're getting this, we're getting the velocity, we're getting the active rotation for when he's moving. It's movement. Velocity is I think moving forward or back or whatever direction you're going to move in. It's the speed, I think, or it has to deal with something like that, right? And then the active rotation is when he turns, move, rotation. It's rotating, It's simple, right? It's self-explanatory. You got I'm not too sure why we used the vector length squared. This didn't. I don't know why, but you take this and you're setting the speed of in the direction. Here you got that slash sword. The slash sword was a variable made in the character's blueprint first, yeah, and then which we're calling in that blueprint for the character, the knight character, for when the variable is set to true or during a true false branch statement, we're swinging the sword or not, and then so we're connecting that to the Anim BP, because in the Anim BP you have that state machine that says sword attack, right? And that's being used. Let me open that up. Actually, sword and shield slash walk number. Why is that there? This was done in the. That was a little weird, but you have that to. It's there to connect to both the character blueprint and the Anim BP, so that way you can tell it to attack and play the right animation for when it attacks. Is basically what was happening there. Same thing with the jump. You click jump and stuff, which I believe is also in the event graph. Is falling. You have that is falling bit for that. And here's the variable for is falling there, which character movement is connected to the sword character, and the sword character is getting its character movement, getting its slash sword, doing this and whatnot. So it's communicating all the blueprints. This is where I'm saying that my foundation is a little bit off, because I'm having to go back and make certain things to make it communicate. As for example, my to all that is my AI enemies. This grunt, I made it, didn't think about it really. So now I got to get more that the enemy base, so that more blueprints can talk to each other, and it's less work on me to, if I set it up right, it will be less work than what I'm having to do now. But this, this whole project, I'm learning. It's there. It's happening. It's the thing, Cool. Alright, that's it for this video then. That's it for this live stream. I will talk to y'all again later, and like I said, I'll probably talk to y'all